riders featured in this film is wearing a gopping yellow jacket, not suitable for viewing by younger children.
Right, here we are again then with Neil from Back to the Bike, and we decided to meet up, have a bit of lunch at a fantastic little place just outside Stockbridge called the Mayfly Pub, right on the side of the river here. Very nice. So you can see over the top of the hedge line across at the 2 o'clock position, another vehicle coming in towards us, this white van. Just tuck up into the near side, and we've got a shed load of signs on this post here for a junction, the road narrowing and another bridge, so we can just straight line them through here down to the entry point to the right hand bend. I'm just looking across again, 2 o'clock position. I've got some telegraph poles over there. I'll take it this is a river bridge, so nice and steady, just position mid lane in case there's any pedestrians. Got a couple of farm vehicles here, just watching for anything that might be on behind that could be looking to overtake. Once we're clear, then out towards the crown of the road as we come down towards the left hand bend, watching the junction. Not much view at the moment, it's just starting to open up now. There we go. So come up to the right hand bend, then we're going to tuck up towards the near side, extending the view all the time. I'm just going to straighten across this one. Not a lot of view as to where the road goes. The tree line looks like it's going around to the right, yeah. So again, we can just tuck in, hold that position, and then once the views look good to you, come out towards the crown of the road for the left-hander. We'll just hold that view as long as nothing comes the other way. Always give up position for safety, but as long as we can hold that view, we can extend our view, and we're also in view of anything coming from the opposite direction. So looking at the hedge line, look, the road bears right up a hill. Can't see anything vehicle-wise coming down at the moment. So just catch Neil up a little bit here. Okay, view to the top of the hill then, so we can just straight line this. And we want a nice mid-lane position to go over the brow. It's going into a blind left-hand bend. So you can see Neil moves across quite nicely. Just roll the speed off a little bit until we get some more view, and then give up position for safety for the oncoming van. Looking across them, we just see past this other vehicle here, road bearings to the right. So we've got some following traffic. It's a little way back, so no problem to us. Just keep the bike under drive on the way in. Nice view of the road ahead then, over at the 10 o'clock position. We can see we go down into this dip, telling us that there's little junctions down here, and there could be some people working with the white van. So just check the mirrors, move out well away from them, just in case there is anybody with the vehicle. And there's what looks like a directional board here, so there could be some junctions coming up. Road's bearing to the right. I can just straighten that now. I can see it bears round to the left, watching the vehicle just coming down to the junction on the offside here. Now we've got a sign for roadworks 400 yards ahead, and temporary lights telling us to reduce speed. So we don't want to react too much, take on board the information, but we want to be slowing down for the thing and not for the sign. So gentle braking. I'm going to hold position out into the crown as we've got this following traffic. Make sure that they're slowed off. So I'm going to just sit back away from Neil for a minute, make sure I've got the traffic controlled down nicely behind me, and then I can just move down to a position just back behind Neil and to the near side here. Putting the two bikes together like this puts up a nice physically big front to the traffic on behind. It's stopped a sensible distance back from us. I can see we've got probably half a dozen cars on behind now. So I can see a car at the far end of the roadworks. It's just come down to a stop, so we're going to anticipate the lights changing, ready to go into gear. Any second now. I can see Neil's just clogged into first. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, we've got another one coming through the lights. So it could be a junction there. I didn't see him at the far end of the lights. He's just appeared from somewhere, so possibly a junction or a driveway that he's come out of, somewhere down through the lights here. Unless it's three-way lights, possibly. But would have expected these to change. I can see the far end of the lights, and it's only actually a short stretch, so make sure Neil's just done his lifesaver, which is one of the things he's been working on for today. Yeah, there's a junction. I thought, I wondered where that little red car had come from. So nice and steady down through here in case there's guys working in the road. Okay, we can see the end of the roadworks now, so let's power up and crack on. So the road bearing to the right. We've got these signs coming up for crossroads and warning that you may find some horses on this road, so possibly there's a riding stable. I can see a brown sign coming up on the near side telling us there's a junction on the off side, so possibly this is a riding stables or something in here, whatever Tree Runners is. Right, so we're only doing mid-40s. There's a chance to overtake this vehicle. We'll be taking it, hopefully. So we've got the word slow on the road, and quite a sharpish left-hand bend by the look of it. There's also a junction coming up on the near side. A little series of bends then, so off the right-hander, good place to look for an overtake, so we could be building on him just to see if there's a chance to get an overtake in. So what looks like a fairly big junction here, okay, which we're going to take this and come down and join the A303. So we're just going to tuck in for the right hander. I'll take it this is the on slip. Just rolling off and just pick up the drive on the way in, just a little bit, coming in a little bit hot there. So looking across, 2 o'clock, white lorry, a couple of cars, not that busy, so we should be able to just time our arrival into lane 1, so that hopefully we miss everybody. Yep, out we go then. Get from this position that Neil's looking to come back to 1. Yeah, so nice and smoothly in. And I can just tuck up with him. We can see that we're coming out to set traffic lights now, and we're going to go for the right hand lane, heading off to the right. I think Neil's just working off sat nav, so if he looks a little bit like he's not quite sure, he probably isn't. So let the speed run down, and this is something else he's going to work on today, was bringing the speed down and first before you take what gear you want. So nice slow approach, and if we get a chance to keep the bikes moving, if the lights change, which they have, so just a very momentary stop there. Left lane lights have just changed, so just checking the mirrors as we come up to the traffic lights. I think Neil might be taking me to services possibly. I need some fuel in a minute. Okay, so we've got following traffic. It's a good distance back, so no problems there. So straight up to 60. What looks like a short section of dual carriageway up ahead of us. Or not, nope, not dual carriageway. Just divided lanes for some reason here. So looking well ahead then, we can see up near the brow of the hill where the buses come over there. The last thing I saw was a car going over the top there, not braking. Usually a good indication that the road's fairly clear for us. Okay, so we've got a nice long view now for the next quarter of a mile. See the road bearing up round left, up through the trees up here. Neil's just moving up just to see if there's any chance of overtaking here. Just moving up from following to possibly an overtaking position. And we're just coming up to a 40 limit, so we'll just start to roll down now, no need to brake. So I'm just watching Neil's left foot, we're at 40, so we can just pick up the drive. Aha, good man. Right, so all fueled up again. Always helps having fuel, doesn't it? So on the way down to the roundabout then, I think we're going 346 at 1 o'clock to Marlborough possibly. Okay, so just looking across to the right, nothing that we need to stop for. Neil. So nice and quick away. Straight up to 40, and then we're just coming up to national speed limit. So fairly slow looking vehicle ahead of us. So possibly the chance to overtake. Although he is cracking on up to road speed now. Stationary vehicle on the near side here, a couple of bus stops again, and some oncoming traffic now. Still nothing following. Nice view of the road ahead, then it bears slightly to the left and then round to the right, so I'd expect to see Neil move over across to the near side a little bit more now, just to extend his view down the offside of the Land Rover. Good place to look for an overtake as well, so let's catch him up a little bit. Okay, so we've lost our view a little bit, so just from hanging back to where I am, we've got a nice near side view now, which Neil's obviously got. You can see we're just coming down to a 50 limit. Just checking the mirror, still no following. We're at 50 anyway. And looking ahead, what looks like there's a garage forecourt, the vehicle's coming out. And traffic's slowed down a little bit for some reason down ahead of us. It looks like there's some junctions which has slowed the traffic down a little bit. So the road going round to the left. See Neil's out on the crown of the road to extend his view. Nice near side view down the inside of the Land Rover. We can extend our view on that, and then if we lose that view we can move to an offside view generally. So just roll speed off, no need to brake. Get down to 30, just pick up the drive, and you can hear that the bike's labouring now, it wants a gear, so just let it settle for a few seconds, and then all in one go I'll just come down 2 gears to the gear that I want. Much more responsive gear. And then pick up the drive and just settle your speed back off again. So looking down, I can see there's some parked cars down ahead of us on both sides of the road. We have got following traffic, but it's about 400 or 500 yards back, so no problem with that. Just watching the junctions here on the near side, and I just move out for the drain. Watching the vehicle on the near side that's going to join the main road, so you can see Neil's moved out away from it. Various parked vehicles down along this road. So keeping to the speed limit wherever we can. Remember that it's a maximum, not a target. But if there's no reason not to, then we'll get up to the speed limit and stay there. Just watching, there's a pedestrian pushing a pram across the road down here. So looking way ahead in the distance, I can see there's the bus we were talking about earlier, because we're on the bus route, which I think is what was holding the traffic up just now probably. And it looks like it's stopped and just holding traffic again. It's just pulling away now. There's a large lorry coming and this black car turning across the road, so we can just knock a couple of miles an hour off, let that situation clear up, and then just pick it up again. Watching the pedestrian crossing, then nobody there at the moment. And way down in the distance there we've got this white van which looks like it's coming out onto the main road, and the bus has got an indicator on, so it's going to stop just around the corner. But literally I've just still got a view of the very edge and the of that rear offside wing, although we're turning off I think by the look of it. Okay, so we're going to turn off to devices. So lifesaver to the left, and we can just pick up our speed again. So we've got this flint wall ahead of us, chevron boards showing us it's quite a tight left-hand bend, so blind and no view, so we want a mid-lane position, speed off, let the speed run down, lower gear, go in under drive, and then a little power to leave. Okay, so just watching my speed at the moment, we're on a 30 limit. Just coming out to the national speed limit applies. Turn-off poles along the right hand side of the road, ones with the steps on. And as we come up to the brow we can see by the poles that the road bears around to the left, so nice view under the Land Rover. I'm sure Neil can keep that view as he goes over the top of the brow here. And we can see, looking across at the 2 o'clock position where we're going off to the right here, that these large wagons coming down, so we don't want to be cutting the corner because we're going to come down to the junction at about the same time, so definitely don't cut. We've got no following traffic, so there's no pressure. Take your time, get the speed off, get the gear that you want, pick up the drive. That Land Rover's blowing out some muck, isn't he? So as we come up to the brow again, have a look underneath, have a look down either side, get all the information that you can. So we can see the signboard here, junction across to the offside coming up, and the get back in arrows, and a solid continuous white line system for us. So as we come over the brow we're on high ground, good chance to get a good view of the road ahead and see what it's going to do. So at the end of the straight-ish bit here, road bears to the left and then drops downhill again. Not masses of view going in at the moment. I couldn't see much over the top of the hedge other than I got the line of the road-ish by a house down at the bottom. Land Rover slowed down to mid-40s, so let's have a little look. Could be the possibility to overtake. We can take advantage of him when he loses speed on the bends. Lots of hay on the road blowing around here, loose, so possibly there's been some farm activity, and we did see the tractors earlier on. Just looking over the hedge line then I can see the road bearing round to the left. We've got the telegraph poles to give us the line of the road, and it looked like it went round right, possibly, although it, yeah, round to the right. There are some houses, if you look across at about the 10 o'clock position over the top of the tree line here, houses at the top there, so maybe we're coming in towards a village. Possibility that the road's going to be bearing round to the left in a minute, up towards where the houses are, so into the 30 limit, then no need to brake. Just let the speed roll down at 30, pick up the drive, let it settle for a second, come down 2 gears now to a responsive gear. We've got this parked vehicle and what looks like the blue one there possibly might be looking to enter our road. Just make sure no driver in that one. So we're coming down to a roundabout. I think we're going 12 o'clock. So let's have a lower gear. Little power to leave. We've got there are some vehicles just come off to the roundabout behind us. So looking ahead then we've got a traffic light system coming up, which that's a pedestrian crossing I think. I can see a yellow box on the pole with following traffic. So large vehicle, so Neil gives up position for safety as we go over the brow. Road still bearing to the left. You see the village ahead of us, so we're expecting another speed limit. And as we come off the left-hander, yeah, there it is. As we come down to the right-hand bend here, we're coming down to 30 limit, so we can just roll off. See, no braking, no changing down yet. Once it's settled, decide then if you need a lower gear to suit the speed. Actually, we're fine. There's not much going on. It's just a nice, big, wide, open, quiet road. If there was more going on, I'd probably take a lower gear, but so we can just rest the engine. The bike's quite happy. Still responsive, actually, if I need it. Okay, so we've got a couple of parked vehicles, and things are slowing down now. No need for us to stop. I can see the road ahead is clear, so we'll just check the mirrors, a shoulder check. Your lifesaver, Neil, don't forget that one. Give the vehicles plenty of room. So we've got a large wagon coming in now, so a little gentle braking. And if we can, we're going to try and do this whole manoeuvre down to the roundabout here without actually having to stop and put our feet down. So just some nice slow speed control and just ease first gear. Traffic's just starting to move away now, so we can just pick up the speed a little bit. Second gear, just even braking gently. We've got dust cart or whatever this large vehicle here is. Just hang back a second, make sure we can clear it, no problem. Quick shoulder check down to the roundabout then, and a signal to leave. We do have following traffic and vehicles, drivers that would benefit from the signal. Straight to 30. Nice near side view down the inside here. Not getting actually much information from the sun and the shadows here. It's pretty much overhead, just slightly off to the left at the moment, so that's not actually going to tell us a great deal. So as we go around, we can keep the back of the queue in view. Large wagon coming in, so you see Neil give up position for safety, move away from the vehicle just in case anything, part of the load or anything on the vehicle falls off. So as we come down to the 40 limit, if we've come 30 to 40, we're speeding up. So good indication that we possibly might be coming up to a national speed limit in a minute. So let's start having a look at the vehicles ahead of us. Are any of them slow? Any of them that we'll probably get a good chance to overtake? So steering clear and equalising the danger between the parked car and the oncoming. So as we come up to the brow of the hill, I can see the national speed limit apply signs. So ready to go. Let's have a look and see if there's any chance of an overtake on. Up we go. Out we go. So I would come in now, so we're losing view over the brow. No rush, no need to brake, just roll off gently and match the speed of the traffic. Nice overtakes there, well done. Did everything right there. Moved up from following position to overtaking position, took advantage of the slow moving big line of traffic here, picked a safe gap to come into. It's very easy just to try and stay out there and perhaps push your luck a little bit, which we don't want to be doing. So we have actually got some clear road after this lorry here, so this is another one of those opportunities. The only thing is, where are we going to come back in? And I'm thinking that Neil won't do this, because we're going to have to force our way in somewhere, and we're going to have to rely on people to let us in. The traffic's quite nose to tail, and good decision by Neil not to do that overtake, because I can see up the near side here, they're all very close together, and much as it's on, we could have done it certainly, but it's going to be pretty untidy at best, and possibly even unsafe for us. So actually quite a good decision there, pretty much at the speed limit anyway. So we've got this big wagon coming towards us, the one in the lay-by here, looking for any signs that that vehicle might move. Looking away into the distance then, traffic's moving quite nicely. There's about a dozen vehicles in front of us. I think there's a white lorry up the head of the queue there somewhere. So we just straighten out the bends, We want to be moving away from anything large when we're on a motorcycle, so come away from the green lorry. Nice mid-lane position there, that does it perfectly. There's no buffeting, no problem. So watch the vehicles ahead as they disappear around the bend, looking for any signs that they could be braking or changing course suddenly, in case there was perhaps a cyclist or a horse rider or something around the corner. And we can see that the cars, as far ahead as I can see, are slowing down at the moment for some reason. Can't quite see why, so yeah, I think it's just one of them's a bit cautious, possibly. And I can see away in the distance the road goes round this right-hander and then it obviously goes around the left. I can see the top of the white lorry I was talking about just now on that next little straight section after this left-hander. So I can just straighten this one out. Looking across at the 10 o'clock position, see if there's anything large coming towards us as we come down towards this right-hand bend. It'll be tucked up to the near side, so you could have just brought your position a little bit earlier, Neil. And as we go around the right-hander, look down the outside, the road's clear. Look down the near side, still clear. And I know from local knowledge we're coming down to a roundabout. That's, if there was less traffic, another good place back there off that right-hand bend to look for an overtake. That's the type of bend which is going to slow the traffic down, and we can take advantage of that low speed and very often pop the overtakes. So I think we're going 10 o'clock, Swindon, Marlborough on the 346. So just because we've lost speed now, just take a lower gear. I want to try and get all my gear changing done in the one go. Let's see if we can do this without stopping then, so nothing to give way for. So we're going to come down 2 gears, a signal to leave. And we're going to be tucked up to the near side just to extend the view around the right-hander. These two are quite slow moving and there is a gap ahead of us, so if there's a chance to overtake, we'll have a look at it. Quite a nice straight there, so let's have a look. The vehicle ahead of us is braking. I think it's just because we're going downhill and there's possibly junctions involved down the bottom here maybe. Okay, so we've got some signs telling us that there's a series of double bends here. It's obviously something fairly serious because it's all illuminated and lots of signs and lots of paint. So let's not race in. Remember, if the right speed's 10 mile an hour, we'll do 10 mile an hour. So no need to brake. I'm just going to come down 2 gears, pick up the drive, under power all the way through, looking over the top of the hedge line. Let's go. Nice and quick away from it. We don't want to be hanging around in a place where we could come into conflict with other road users. So as we come down to the left-hander then, solid and continuous double white line system, so probably a series of bends up through here. Traffic's moving fairly well anyway, no great shakes. So we've lost speed, just come down 2 gears. Nice view up the near side, road's bearing left. Got no following for hundreds of yards, so nothing there, and we can see the road bearing to the right at the top of the hill. So we're just going to come away from the crown of the road in towards the near side in case anything large comes the other way. And you can see that Neil's staying in touch with the traffic. We want to make sure we keep up with the traffic, because if there is an opportunity to overtake and we can do it, we can act on it quickly. We're right there ready to go. Always trying to be in the right place on the road, right speed, with the right gear engaged. So not masses of view right this second, but as we come over the brow, there's the view. So oncoming traffic, so we can just settle back, nice following position behind this traffic here. There's a junction coming up, so just be obviously on the lookout for either the vehicles ahead of us going into the junction or anything coming out of it. Yeah, so we've got this one in the centre of the road here. Okay, so I'm just going to overtake Neil.
And sadly, guys, that's all we've got time for today. You can see the accompanying ride to this one on Neil's Back to the Bike channel. We'll be back soon with a trip to Marlborough, but in the meantime, enjoy your bikes and stay safe. We'll see you soon.